anything could be there. This is the story of how these laws are broken.
Sightline is an innovative puzzle game that toys with your preconceptions about the permanence of the unobserved. Aside from philosophers, we all take for granted that when we turn away from an empty room, the room and the objects within it will continue to exist. Such is the nature of reality. It is not, however, necessarily true of virtual reality. Sightline is all about this simple insight. In Sightline, when you look away from things, they change without cause. If you turn your back to a room, the table may have become a sofa, or the room may not even be there at all.
Or perhaps the word big would be more fitting here.
While other game worlds strive to make you think that they are real, Sightline is constantly trying to convince you that it is not real. The magic of VR means that you keep doubting the unreality of the game, even though it consistently refuses to conform to your expectations of how reality should behave.
And then they wobble away when you need them the most. But then you turn back. And you already are where you were heading.
The game is carried along by the narrator, whose poetic monologue provides prompts and clues as to the nature of each puzzle. The soundtrack adds a certain gravitas to proceedings and complements both the thoughtful narration and the unsettling nature of being in a broken reality. It is a shame that your avatar is just a blob with giant cartoon eyes, as it's inconsistent compared to the rest of the art style and the tone of the piece.
Spikes. Look down, pit, look up again and find that the spikes are now a fan of reasonable breeze. Then you look down and find that the pit was never really there.
Sightline is as much an experience as it is a puzzle game. You don't really learn any skills that are transferable from one puzzle to the next. There are no rules or visual cues as to what might change when you avert your gaze. Most of the puzzles are quickly solved if you are attentive to the narrator. A few require a bit more lateral thinking and may have you stumped, but the solution will also have you kicking yourself, usually for missing a hint that was hidden in the narration. The game allows you to skip to certain scenes though, so even if you do get stuck, you can move on. There are a couple of places near the beginning where Sightline can be a little nauseating. I'm sure the brain-bending puzzles and the occasional need to make sweeping head movements don't really help with this. Mild discomfort notwithstanding, Sightline is worth a try. It's fair to say that it will be relatively unremarkable as a non-VR game, but on the Rift it comes alive. It's a smart game that has a lot of fun creating and intentionally breaking your sense of presence. The VR Jam prototype for Sightline feels like a complete and satisfying experience. There are plans to expand it further, and although I'm not sure if there's a lot of room left to take the concept, when a full version does come out I will definitely take another look, if only to see what's changed.
And when it's finally gone, you can safely go to sleep.